Join ForumIAS Academy, trusted by hundreds of toppers, including IAS Rank 1 Anudeep Durishetty, Shruti Sharma, and Ishita Kishore.
Hello aspirants, we are coming up with this video series dealing with the most basic concepts of political science optional, and the purpose is to help you develop some basic understanding of the most basic concepts. Okay, so this video series is going to help you to be ready for a foundation course. Okay, so and for this reason this should be taken as a pre-foundation series. Here I am not going to go deeper into the scholarly details or academic details of the concepts that I'm going to deal, but the purpose is to help you to understand some most basic things about concepts like democracy, state, law, authority, and many other terms that are frequently used in the optional subject. Okay, so the purpose is going to be served if you are thorough with the discussions of all the videos that will come in this series, and will definitely help you to understand the more complex concepts or even the same concepts when those concepts are going to be dealt with in greater detail, in greater scholarly detail in the foundation courses. Okay, now before I start with the basic concepts of political science, I want to talk a little bit about the concept itself. Okay, so I want to deal firstly with the question of what is concept. Okay, what we mean by concept. So by concept, we actually mean the term that we frequently use. What we actually mean is some general idea about any particular thing. Okay, so general idea about something. General idea. And that general idea would mean all the attributes that are defining attributes of that particular thing that we are talking about, or the concept that we are talking about. Okay, this explanation would be better if I take the example, let us say, example of democracy, or you can say consider a concept of democracy, let us say. Just see this concept of democracy. So by the concept of democracy, we do not mean a specific government or any specific country. What we actually mean by concept of democracy is all the set of principles or ideas that characterize, or you can say that are shared by all the democratic systems. Okay, it is actually those principles and practices that actually define, or you can say that is something that we can call the concept of democracy. So what are those principles and practices? Those principles and practices can be this equality, basic equality among human beings, or free elections, or freedom of speech, okay, or this mandate to rule emerging from people. That is how we see the concept of democracy. Okay, so these are the attributes. These are the attributes that you will find all the democratic structures to be sharing. By looking at these attributes, we will see that these were there in the ancient Greek city-states like Athens also, and they can be found in modern parliamentary democracies like India also. Okay, so concept of democracy actually is about all the attributes that are shared by all the democratic forms of government across the countries or across the regions. Okay, so in that sense, those attributes are actually what? A general idea, free and fair elections, mandate to rule emerging from people, equality, free elections, all that. So that is something that we know as the concept of democracy. Okay, you can also understand it by taking another example. So for example, if we use the word cat or dog or elephant, when we say concept of cat. So while we say concept of cat or concept of dog or concept of elephant, we do not mean any particular animal. Yes or no? By saying cat or elephant, we mean all the attributes shared by all the elephants. Yes or no? So the concept of elephant actually relates to all the attributes that are shared by all elephants, not any specific animal. So concept of democracy is not about any specific government or any specific country. It is about those set of principles and practices that are shared across the countries by all democratic forms of governments. Okay, so this is how you define concept. This is how you define concept when we are going to use this word while understanding many political concepts in our series. Okay, the question remains that why do we need it? Why we need concepts? Okay, very easy to understand. We need concepts because we need meanings to the things that exist in the world. Understand this, that we are living in this world, we are looking at these walls or chairs or tables, furnitures, many things that exist in this world. Just by looking at the world that exists surrounding us, we do not gain the knowledge of that word. We can't get the knowledge of this word just by looking at it. So if our purpose is to derive knowledge about the word that exists around us, we need to impose meanings. We need to ascribe meaning to the things. Okay? And while we ascribe or impose meaning to the things, we are actually formulating the concepts, or we are actually indulging in the process of concept formulation. So concept formulation, the formulation of concept is nothing but the imposition of meaning in that sense. Okay, because without giving meaning to the things, we can't rationally discuss about it. We can't reason about that. So only by giving meaning to the things, we start discussing, criticizing, explaining, elaborating, questioning about the things that exist around us. Okay? So what purpose concept serves here? Concept formulations helps us to build knowledge. So concept is a building block of knowledge. Political concepts will help you to explore the political arena, to make sense of political activity. Okay? To criticize the theories of political theorists, or to discuss about the policies of political leaders. Okay? Because conception, formulation of concept is similar to giving meaning to the things, and when we give meanings, we can further discuss it, criticize it, question it, and that is how we build knowledge about the things. So concept formulation is fundamental in the exercise of deriving knowledge about this world. We need concepts so that we could talk about things. In most simple terms, you can say that. We need concepts so that we could discuss, rationally argue about things. So when we are having the concept of cat or dog or elephant, we can go on talking about attributes shared by all the cats, dogs, or elephants. Similarly, when we talk about the concept of democracy, we can discuss about all the principles and practices followed by all the democratic forms of governments across the countries. Okay, and then we can start questioning any particular practice or idea, or any particular government, any particular country, whether that country is following democratic path or not. Without having the conception of democracy, it would be difficult to argue whether any country is democratic or not. Okay, to argue whether any particular action of the government is democratic or not. Okay, so firstly we need to be clear about the concept. Okay, so that is how concept helps us to understand things, to argue about things, to reason it out, to criticize, to question. Okay, and that is how you can say that concepts are the very building block of knowledge of anything existing in this world. Okay, for that we need concept. Now, when it comes to political concepts, another thing that you must know here is this, that it has a categorization. The categorization that I'm talking about is this, that generally there are two kinds of political concepts. The first is normative, and the second is descriptive. Okay? As I said that we are not going to go deeper into the scholarly details. We should be having that in the proper foundation course. So just having the foundational understanding, most basic understanding about the terms here. What we mean by normative concept. Understand the word normative here. Normative concept, or the word normative is related to norms. And by norms, we mean values or ideals, you can say, or principles. Okay? So by norms, we mean values, ideals, and principles. So normative concepts will actually be dealing with the things that talk about ideals that should be brought about, ideals that should be implemented, values that should be implemented. Okay, so the example of normative political concepts would be equality. Okay, what kind of equality, whether we should be having absolute equality or not, or justice or liberty, these kind of things. So when we talk about these concepts, they are normative because they will be dealing with certain ideals or values or principles that should be brought about or implemented or should be followed. So normative concepts, the discussion over normative concepts generally involves the phrases like should be or should not be. And that is quite understandable because this relates to ideals or principles or values. Okay? What about descriptive concepts? Normative concepts, as they deal with values, ideals, and principles, they wittingly, unwittingly start walking on the turf of morals or moral principles or philosophies. So that is how they get related to the realm of morality or ethics or even various other philosophical values that are to be studied in different disciplines. Okay, the thing that distinguishes the normative concept from the descriptive one is this, that because they are values, ideals, and principles, they many times are merely regarded as opinions, and many a times they have been denied the status of knowledge. While descriptive concepts deals with the description of either facts or events. Description of facts or events. Now this description, if it is a description of facts and events, it can be scientifically, rigorously examined. Are you getting this? That means there can be a rigorous scientific examination whether those facts are correct or not. So that same rigorous scientific examination can be used to prove those facts true or false. That is not the case with norms. Okay? So normative concept and descriptive concept में difference क्या है? कि ये values को deal करते हैं और ये facts और events को deal करते हैं. क्योंकि वो facts और events को deal करते हैं, तो उनको true और false साबित किया जा सकता है. Okay, एक rigorous scientific examination के through they can be proved, that they can be proven either true or false. Okay? Also understand. Now, for example, you can further understand it by looking at example. तो descriptive concepts के example अगर आप देखें तो होंगे power, authority, law, policy, like this. So these are example of descriptive concepts. Okay, so this is about concept. And in the next video, we are going to understand what is the meaning of politics or what is the meaning of political. Okay.